John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night, and here we are yet again on a Friday, and I can't believe we're into the 30s of our episodes.
That's right.
And the cool part is we tell you every week, come here to 5000 McKnight Road, take the elevator up to 4, have a great time with us, have a couple drinks, but only for a little bit longer. But I'll tease that. I'll just tease that. I'll stop there.
Right.
Okay.
So in the meantime, this is 5000 McKnight Road, and what we're doing here is having a nice podcast. If you're listening to the podcast on the radio, make sure you join us here every 10 o'clock every Friday night. Or if you're listening on the podcast feed, subscribe to it. YouTube, Facebook, subscribe to those too every Friday night. And of course, you have all week to listen and watch it as well.
There you go. We write a couple of blogs as the week goes by because, you know what, let's face it, there's a lot of Jags we have to deal with throughout the week.
Right.
The very first one, I will take it. Blog number 1. I feel a little bit attacked because this week you made it, not even this week, today, you made it clear that it was sort of my fault that your collar was awry during the PTL filming. So you were irritated by this.
No, I actually called myself the Jagoff for not checking in the mirror.
But you're sort of mad that no one told you.
As we've done on other podcasts, we'll take pictures and my hat will be crooked. And there's all these people taking the picture. Nobody goes, your hat's crooked. So here we go out in front of 400 people and now in front of all the PTL audience because we were part of that show. And we go out, I had a nice tux and my shirt is tucked under, my coat is tucked underneath my shirt collar.
I think it was just the freeze frame.
And not one person. No, you watched the whole video. It's stuck. It's stuck.
Okay. Anyway,
so anyways,
it's
my responsibility. I should have checked it despite going through hair, makeup, and every other thing.
Blog number 2. I was a dear friend yet again to John Chamberlain. Not the first time, obviously, but today because John Shumway delivered a great, I don't know how you want to say it, like piece about how PennDOT was possibly closing down the entire stretch in the east. How about I knew right
Parkway
around where it was? Yeah. So the deal is we deal with construction all the time, but I said, John Chamberlain, beware, because this guy's super nice all the time unless he is behind the wheel with anybody in front of him, especially when there's road closures.
Yes, right.
So did you stay away from Parkway?
I stayed away from it. I did take 28 for a little bit today.
It's just as bad.
It's kind of like, it wasn't too bad today. But in the meantime, as we tell you all the time, 5000 McKnight Road is where we are and where we party. But that's changing because Three Rivers Arts Festival is coming up.
You know it is TRAF.
TRAF.
Yeah.
And we will be recording the 31st, the last Friday of March on the main stage in the backyard, I think it is.
Listen,
at
that's
the Three
an
Rivers
honor.
Arts Festival as part of the programming.
Well, and it's a tradition in sense because we've done it every year that we've even podcasted together. So this would be like our 8th year doing it.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to break that tradition, but we didn't want to make more work for Monica and Michaela and Johnny. But they were like, just do it. It's fine.
Now we made more work for Monica, Michaela, Johnny, and Sorg and Katie.
Yes, but that's okay. They're all game because anything for TRAF.
So we'll see you down there at 3 o'clock on the stage.
Yeah,
go to the TRAF
website
website and you can see it. We'd love to see you down there.
Yeah, and we were just talking about this. There's such great programming for the Cultural Trust Three Rivers Arts Festival this year. So many musicians that I want to see. So we might just go back day after day.
Meantime, we have a podcast tonight, and we have this is historical podcast because first time we have an animal on the podcast. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I have to be.
Do your Lamaze breathing.
Listen, it's one of those John wanted something, an animal, so John gets an animal. Tracy makes it happen.
The aviary brought a falcon. In the meantime, you know her as
Comedy,
chaos. Went viral years ago, and now she's back on the podcast. First time she's been on this version of the podcast.
Yeah, she's not been here. And thanks to the Millville Music Fest folks, because they sent us our musician, Adrian, who we heard is certainly stellar, and we can't wait to check it out. But before you talk, or listen to us talk to all of our friends tonight, you need to take some action from Mitch Dugan, because he's talking what?
Kennywood's open. Where did that phrase come from, Mitch?
Nobody knows. Rick Seaback doesn't even know. It says it right here.
What does that mean?
Let's Google that. Where does Kennywood's open come from? Siri, where does the phrase Kennywood is open comes from, meaning your zipper's open? Okay, here it is. Okay, that's not. Okay, so what it says here is, well, apparently they consulted the amusement park. They consulted Rick Seaback and others, and nobody knows. The director of publications at Heinz History Center is the local expert on Kennywood. He wrote 2 books on the park, and he's working on a 3rd. Even with all those Kennywood connections, he said nobody knows, nobody can figure it out where it originated. What else did they say here? So they said here that the terminology dates back to at least the 1950s, but nobody knows where it originated. Not Pittsburgh Dad, not Rick Seaback. not Heinz History Center experts, not even Mitch Dugan, not even Kennywood officials. Nobody knows. I don't know, but I mean, I remember kids used to say it to me all the time in school.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
You will never regret your time on the ambulance because it will come with you and become a part of you. It helps you grow as a person and gives you life experience that you would never have had access to otherwise. You know, what other job do you go to school for 9 months and you get to go out and intubate people in the field, right? I'm putting tubes down people's throats to help them breathe. I'm starting IVs. I'm giving, ketamine, fentanyl.
This is a very rewarding job. I love coming to work every day. It's always something different. I don't really call this work.
Probably amazing. Just because you can change the life of someone in moments, you can bring someone back to life.
We're living in this crisis of everyone not being able to afford secondary education or finding employment after that. This is something you can do very quickly. Having an EMT is very short. You can do it in 3 months. And it's a very small financial commitment.
It's John and Rachel, YaJagoff, late night, and this is a historical episode because we've never had an animal on our show.
Ever.
I
mean, we've had
when we did a podcast
therapy animals or service dogs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But
not
here
like
on
this.
YaJagoff,
And not
late
just
night,
any animal.
Right.
It
A
is
falcon.
the National Aviary. I mean, how about that? How proud are we, first of all? Because we've talked about this before, and we're welcoming back our friend. We go by Kath at this point because it's Cathy from the National Aviary. But Pittsburgh is one of very few cities to have a National Aviary, right?
We're the only city to have the National Aviary.
Led right into that one.
Yes.
Only one.
We are the nation's
Good assist,
aviary.
Cathy.
Yeah. She was like, get it right? Get it right.
So, and what does that mean? How did that all happen? And how long ago did it happen that we became the National Aviary?
Well, way back in the day, we were owned by the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then the aviary privatized. It was actually going to be closed. And then they did a Save the Aviary campaign to save the aviary. And then at that time when we became private, a group of people got together and petitioned the government to make us the nation's aviary because of how unique we are. And then in 1993, it was signed in.
How about
You
that?
know a little bit
Man.
about everything.
I know the most random things, though. I'm very
fun factor.
random. Yes, I
You're
am
a
a
fun
very
factor.
factor.
By the way, we would remind everybody watching or listening that Cathy is the person you see in all the programming. Like if her voice sounds familiar, her face looks familiar as you're watching it, she's the one that we see
She's always
all the
holding
time,
the bird. Yeah.
doing the
Navigating
shows
the
out
birds.
there. So
tell us, what is your actual title? Because I find this fascinating too.
I'm the Director of Animal Programs and Experiences.
Yes. Which means what? Tell us the day-to-day. What are you doing?
So I have the amazing job of being able to get people closer to our animals. So
Like me.
with the encounters and the shows and the educational programs, all of those things I help manage. And of course the birds, the ambassador animals that take part in all those programs.
Oh my gosh.
But
do you get to choose the ones, or do you have to learn when they say, wait, we have a falcon over here that could be good, then you have to go sort of train with the falcon on how to do your job with the falcon?
So I help acquire the birds for the ambassador animals and help choose them. So every bird is unique and an individual. And so if a bird is really outgoing like Squire, then we know he would make a good ambassador animal. We work with them using positive reinforcement training so they get lots of treats doing things like this. And if a bird is more quiet and reserved, then we wouldn't ask them to be an ambassador animal. It's always about finding the right fit for the job.
So you're like, my mom told me when I was a kid, they had to feed other kids food just to come play with me as friends. So this is that.
Kathy,
She used
thanks
to tell
for
me
the
all
John
time.
therapy
Yeah.
today.
I know, I'm sorry.
So you have to feed the falcon so they'll come see us. No.
But I mean, if you think about it, don't you want rewarded for everything? Like if you do
Right.
good things, you want treats for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be food, but you want rewarded for the
yeah.
good stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
that's
question. So tell us a little bit about the falcon. And you already said Squire. Why the name Squire?
So it's actually a unique story. We got Squire from a breeder, a falconer that breeds Lerner falcons.
And so wait, a falconer is a term.
Yeah, a falconer is a person.
Okay.
I'm a falconer, actually.
Okay.
Outside of the aviary, I'm a falconer. And so a falconer trains birds of prey, and you go out and you hunt in the field with them. And a lot of falconers will breed falcons for other falconers. And so the falconer we got...
Is so close to
is
getting
there
bleak,
an act of
you know what I
falconing?
mean? So, yeah.
And so the reason
Meet
Squire's...
the Falconers.
I know.
It's a new movie.
But the falconer that bred Squire actually used to be dressed like a knight and go on Renaissance festivals. And so Squire was the squire to the
That
knight.
is a great story.
That is
Holy
such a good
smokes.
story. And so who names the birds?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it's staff. Sometimes we have naming contests.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Yes.
we have donors that name the birds. There's a whole way, different ways you can name
I
a
love
bird.
that.
Yeah.
I just feel like any experience at the National Aviary now is so unique because you could go multiple times. Like we were just saying, we've been there so many times, even just this year, and there's things that we've not seen, or oh my gosh, I didn't know that fact about. And you're all so up to speed on what you need to know. Is that the exciting part of the job?
Yes. I mean, being able to work with the animals and watch them learn and be able to interact with the people that come in and see them getting excited, and the fact that the aviary is always looking to do things better. Like
Sure.
it's such a great place to work, and that's why
question.
I have stayed there for so long.
What do falcons
give
eat
us some
in the
falcon
wild?
talk.
And then what do they eat in the aviary? Do you try to match it up as close as possible?
Yeah, so all of our birds get really natural diets. We have our head veterinarian that works with us and prepares different nutritional items for them, but we always do a lot of research. So for falcons, because they do eat other birds, that's what makes falcons unique.
And you want me to sit here like nothing's...
You're not a bird.
It's
You're
not
a bird,
weird.
you're good. And so he's going to eat things like quail and chicken.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long has Squire been with you?
Oh, Squire has been with us for like at least 15 years. I would say 15
Oh,
years.
wow.
If it's 17 years, yes.
And for people like me who don't know, like, what is a life expectancy for a falcon?
So in his in the wild, he would only live to be around 15, but under human care, he could live to be 25, 30.
He's becoming very active if you're listening on the radio.
He's trying to get my attention because he knows I have treats. He's like, why are you looking at them and not me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell me some things. How can people kind of interact with falcons? Like, what's the exciting part? Because obviously, looking at him, you are colorful, very well maintained, that kind of thing. But then it's like, but what do you do?
Well, at the National Aviary, we're actually opening up a brand new summer themed season called Colors and Flights. Mm-hmm. And
Did you like how I did that?
I know,
Okay,
you
thank
led.
you.
Thank
Mold
you.
that
That
right
was
in, Rach.
so great.
Top
So it's
notch.
all about how birds use their colors in the environment and how that plays a role in their lives. So it's going to be really cool. But also part of Colors in Flight is our SkyDeck show comes back, where we fly birds like Squire flies in that show outside in a rooftop area. We have black kites that fly and catch food out of the air. The Lerner falcon shows off. I almost said falcon.
Yeah,
the
that's
Lerner,
okay. Yeah.
Sorry, we're
Channel
getting
your
so
inner
close to
falcon.
that.
Yeah.
The
Monica
Lerner
has her finger on the
falcon
button.
flies and does a lure flying demo and shows how fast they are to be aerodynamic to catch food. We have hooded vultures. Squire, though, flies, when he does his demonstrations, we have clocked him at going over 70 miles an hour.
No
This guy
kidding.
is fast.
And is that sort of their thing? Is that the Falcons' thing? Is that they're small but fast, agile? Is that their...
They are very fast and
tool?
agile to be able to catch that
Yeah.
food. Yep.
And are they small, really? I mean, is this a small bird? Is that what you would...
I mean, there are slightly larger falcons like the peregrine falcon. And actually, right now, we have the peregrine falcon cam that you can go on and watch. If you go to aviary.org, you can catch the peregrines that are on the Cathedral of Learning. And so...
Oh, yeah. I
yeah.
forgot about that because everybody talks about the eagles, but that's right. We can watch the falcons.
Yeah, falcons are amazing.
Yeah.
But yes, they do all the cool flights and things like that. So you can
Talk about
see
the talons real quick because those not watching will know that you have a really thick glove on.
Yes, we have we wear raptor gloves or falconer gloves because all of these birds that have talons, they could accidentally pierce our skin because that's what they're made to do.
Yeah.
Is to be able to catch and kill with their feet. And so he just has really a little bit of talons there, but falcons actually have really long toes compared to other raptors.
Okay.
Because depending on the speed at which you're going after their prey, they'll either grab their prey with their talons or they'll ball them up into fists and punch their prey out of the air.
Same.
Yeah,
They're the
that's
coolest
like
thing ever.
John's
Same
the
as me on
falcon
a-
of peeps.
on a bar.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. So what is unique about this falcon? I mean, obviously life is good, right? At 15, this is a fantastic thing to even hear.
Yes.
But what would we expect if we saw him in his own environment?
Sitting in a tree, occasionally looking for food.
Okay, like everybody, right?
Yes.
Doing the same old things.
Doing the
Okay.
same old thing. Yep.
We know what we do when we see dogs play. How do birds play, or how do falcons play with each
Like
other?
interact with
You
each
know,
other.
and
Yeah.
just-
It's not like you're not throwing a
They
bone.
don't really do
you're
that.
not-
They just sort of
Yeah.
sit
Or no,
around
they're
and
kinda
hang
chill.
out and
They're
give
doing like they're very purposeful in their actions.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be hunting when they're not hunting and they're full. They're going to be resting. They'll go find a mate during breeding season. You know, they'll take their time raising their chicks. They'll have chicks and feed chicks. Then the parents will split off and go their separate ways. But life is more hard for a bird out there. So they don't have like luxury of like, they're more purposeful in all of their movements that they do.
I don't want to use the word trick, but is there something that you could like get Squire to do for us other than look beautiful?
No,
Sing
the
the
thing
song
that
from
Squire
Grease.
does is his flying.
Oh,
boy.
So
Fine, right where we
We're
are,
not gonna do
Squire.
that. We'll see.
You're fast.
Greg
We're so
and
proud
Michael
of
will
you.
come running out of their office like, what the hell happened? Right.
But another awesome way to see Squire this summer, besides coming to the aviary during our colors and flight season, is by coming to our Night in the Tropics Island Oasis presented by UPMC Health Plan.
She's so good at this.
On Friday, July 26th.
It is so ironic because we were talking to you about a year ago this time because
we
we
really?
literally, we talked about. No, it was 2 years when we went there and actually learned more about the aviary. Remember, and we learned
Because
about
it
the
was
Night at the Tropics.
new
Yeah.
garden room or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That garden
So
room
if you're
is
looking for a
amazing.
place to have a matter of
event,
fact,
anything.
Zachary's mission.
Yeah.
Right? They put this whole garden outside, which you can see from these huge windows
Oh,
and
yeah,
patio,
it's
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Plus
Yes.
the SkyDeck.
Plus
There's
the
just so
SkyDeck.
much. Yeah.
Plus
There's so
colors in flight.
Look, she doesn't flinch. For anyone listening, the bird just sort of went crazy, and not crazy, but for
He
me,
just
crazy.
He just
Kathy's
literally
like, he
turned
turned.
in a circle.
I don't know that he turned in a circle. He went crazy. He flapped his
Rachel's
wings
like,
a
there's
lot.
drama, and I'm going to call it out.
I know. He moved his arms.
It's bird drama. Hashtag bird drama
Bird
scares
drama.
me. Kathy, you are so good at this, but tell everybody, where can they find out more information or to visit the aviary?
On our website at aviary.org.
Yeah, easy enough.
Proud
right?
to have
Yes.
you. Proud to have the National Aviary here in the north
It's
side of
always a
Pittsburgh,
pleasure, yeah.
So.
So we have a question of the day, but did you and Squire bring us a junk drawer gift?
Oh, I have to go dig it out of my purse.
Oh, my
Oh.
gosh. You mean it's not like perched with
It's not Squire.
with Squire?
No.
Oh, you're not leaving Squire? Thank you,
No,
God.
but I
Bless
have
myself
something.
4 times.
I have something really weird to give
Oh.
you. That's in my
Oh, boy.
purse.
Tracy, could you bring
While
the purse
we're grabbing
over?
your purse.
Wait, are you going to be able to
Becca.
hold Squire and go in your
In
bag?
the front of my bag.
Yeah, she's like, silly girl, yes.
All right.
Okay.
So while we're doing that,
We'll have
Do you
you
see
think
leather?
of... We'll have you think of a question. The question of the
oh,
day.
we got it right
oh,
here.
Wait, she already
Here we
has
come.
it? She said, "Do
Tracy,
we see
our
leather?"
backstage assistant.
What
is
is
this?
This is a piece of falconry equipment.
Oh, okay.
that
I
is
told you it was
amazing.
going to be different.
It is so different.
And I
And what
remember-
is it?
This is so when you handle birds of prey, when you're going from point A to point B or sitting here, you put little birdie leashes on their ankles. And so that way they're safe from like if somebody, see, you worry about the birds, I worry about the humans.
Sure,
if
of
someone would do
course.
something crazy. So that way, they have a little safety line on them. And so that is a piece
That
of
is
that.
such a good gift.
No one's ever
we
gonna
will never
think
forget
that.
that.
It is a Falcon seatbelt.
It
right
is,
there.
and we will
Yes.
never forget it.
Yes.
But, you bring up a good point, and I said this to you before we went on, and I will get to the question of the day. But when we come to video, you're always very, very cautious because, like you said, we're sometimes afraid of the bird, but you are making sure that the bird feels comfortable, not like too much in their face, right? Give them some space.
Absolutely, because I mean, it's part of my job and part that I take really seriously is I want my birds to be set up for success no matter
Sure.
what they do.
Yeah.
So their comfort is my priority, and that's that's why I'm a little bit bossy off the air, and I'm telling people what they can and cannot
Yeah.
do.
I love your bossiness.
You set the boundaries.
Kathy's the boss.
But
lady.
I set the boundaries because I want Squire to want to do these things.
Yeah,
you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding. We are truly honored that you brought anything here, but let alone Squire, and he's so well behaved.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question of the day is, we are kicking off our porch tours. In June, we do our porch tour where everybody comes to the porch. We literally bring, the music, the food, the fun, all of that to someone's porch for different listeners. And it all benefits Zachary's Mission, which is this amazing nonprofit that collects items for overnight stays in hospitals. It's a fantastic event.
Is.
So it's porch season upon us. What is your favorite thing to do, like when summer hits on your porch? What is that thing that you go out? Are you just like a casual sitter? Do you do bird things?
I read.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a big reader. I really like to read.
Like
Swing or chase lounge?
John.
On a front porch. Would you rather have a swing?
I would
or
have
chair?
a swing.
Rocking chair? A swing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I still am
Movement.
antsy when I'm reading and I need to move.
Okay.
I'm a fidgeter.
All right.
So one more time, where can everybody find you, follow you, all that good stuff?
At aviary.org.
Easy enough. All right. Thank you so much. And Squire, thank you so much for coming. He looked at me when I said his name. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We had a great time. And we are going to
so
talk
regal.
to our friend, cooking, comedy, and chaos. It's Desiree next on YaJagoff Late Night.
I would say probably the softest side of me is my mother, very empathetic, no one to mess with though, but she was very empathetic.
It's Rachel and John.
We are at the Operations Center of People's Gas for this episode of People
Behind Peoples.
I feel like we're taking over. You're seeing more women in manager positions and supervisors, and they know what they're doing.
Women with Energy is a great ERG. We do not play. We are very energetic. We get the job done.
PittsburghUsedCars.com, with hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
You will never regret your time on the ambulance because it will come with you and become a part of you. It helps you grow as a person and gives you life experience that you would never have had access to otherwise. What other job do you go to school for 9 months and you get to go out and intubate people in the field, right? I'm putting tubes down people's throats to help them breathe. I'm starting IVs. I'm giving, ketamine, fentanyl.
This is a very rewarding job. I love coming to work every day. It's always something different. I don't really call this work.
Probably amazing. Just because you can change the life of someone in moments, you can bring someone back to life.
We're living in this crisis of everyone not being able to afford secondary education or finding employment after that. This is something you can do very quickly. Having an EMT is very short. You can do it in 3 months. It's a very small financial commitment.
We are now mashing the tomatoes, the whole tomatoes. They came out of a can and called whole peeled tomatoes, and I dumped them in here, and now I'm mashing them. They don't have a prayer. I am squishing these suckers. I need can you have a cot here or something I can lay down on?
Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll see what we have for you.
Okay. We didn't have any Irish whiskey. Is there a reason for that?
I'll let you come up with that answer yourself.
Okay.
Michaela does karaoke to a verbal song. Right?
Yeah.
It's the song.
John and Rachel, YaJagoff Late Night, and we just came out of our Jeet Jet, which is a segment that we really want people to see it grow, because it's not about restaurant reviews. It's about people in Pittsburgh who have really unique recipes, like the next person we're going to talk to. But our jagbragger, Tressa, actually went to her dad, and she learned how to make spaghetti sauce from her Irish father instead of her Italian mother. So it was a great little segment. Go check it out. You can see the whole video. And now we can talk more recipes with the one and only Cooking, Comedy, Chaos. Was that drama enough?
That was very good. Yeah.
Our friend Desiree, we just discovered we have not seen each other since last year's strawberry jello pretzel salad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's been like 13 months. This makes me sad.
And then you hosted one of our fireplace tours.
Yeah, but that was even before.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Right.
a bummer. Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're a dear friend, and we love seeing what you're doing. And so we had to have you on to find out, like, how do you have the energy to do all of this?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Linda gets 2 cups a day.
Yeah. So who is Linda?
She's my mostest, bestest, imaginary best friend. That girl is great.
So I was like, at one point when you were narrating before on the last guest, I was like, who's she talking to, Linda? And you were like, no, she's doing a lot.
She has real friends too, yeah.
She has real friends too.
So the funny thing is that we kind of knew about you, but then we met at a Pittsburgh City Paper Best of Awards, right? Because that's when we first, you really blew up at that point, because you got Best of in the City Paper,
TikTok.
right?
Yeah, for my TikTok account.
Yeah. And then it just kind of has gone crazy from that. But, for those who live under a rock and are Jagoffs, tell them a little bit about what your videos do and what you do in your videos.
My screen name is Cooking, Comedy, Chaos. So I get on screen and I just go crazy with ridiculous recipes. I try to make people laugh in the kitchen. Like, cooking is something we all have to do, and if you're going to be in there, you may as well have fun with it. Even when things go wrong, which unfortunately happens a lot.
And we have to say, you're not in a commercial kitchen, and you're not in some studio. This is your home where you are literally setting up shop and showing people, like, this is the raw, candid look, right?
Yes.
I love that.
As a matter of fact, I thought you were the filmmaker of the Jeet Jet that we just saw, because it was the same kind of angle, same kind of lots of things around the counter. And what made you start all of that? Was it just you kind of doing some things, having some fun, and then did you edit the videos? And I'm sure you're bigger than that now. You go to the network to get your editing done. But
I wish.
How did you start all of that?
Honestly, I started cooking because it was part of, going through my disability journey and trying to walk and struggling with that pain. Cooking was kind of like my escape, and it's where I started to heal myself more emotionally. And then doing it on camera and just being real and being raw, I think that people have that craving for authenticity. Celebrity movement is going out, and people are now looking up to influencers more and more. So making it a positive place where everyone is safe and they can come here, we can laugh here. My family gets on there and they do chaos with me, and people see that I'm just like every other family in America, you know. And
it's relatability, right?
Yeah, it's relatability. And I think that, like, people seeing that not everything has to be perfect. When you watch a commercial and everything's perfect in the kitchen, like, that's not real life.
It's a turn off. You're like, that's not real. We're all such cynics. We're like,
Like, I want to see the tomato sauce splattered on your cupboard when I come in your kitchen. If it's not there, I don't know if I trust your food.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Now, are you a sloppy cook or a clean cook?
Oh, my God.
When I cook, when I cook, there's 9,000 pans that some of them I haven't even barely used, but I have to clean it all up. But do you like to kind of clean up as you go, or no? It's a disaster, or do you throw an M80 and clean up?
So this is hard. Okay, so if there's a whisk typically involved, that's a cleanup duty, because we get crazy. Right. But I like to, because I ran restaurants for so long, you kind of have to do the clean as you go method.
Okay.
So, and my kitchen is so small, like I have to what I call straighten the set, and get it back to where, like, I'm not knocking over cans of stuff all over the place. But yeah, I'm a messy cook, but nowhere near as messy as my dad was.
Okay.
So, I don't want to recap because there's so many things we could talk about, but I want to get to something pretty meaty. So since we saw you, you have a amazing cookbook out, right? Yes. I mean, watching that go down, like the pre-sales, and you're like, it's pre-sale, guys, and then it was like, oh my God, are there any left? Right?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Quick. Yeah. So what was that like, writing a cookbook?
The first one I think was really, really stressful. The second and third one,
I love how she's like, I'm at 3.
Yeah, Rach, catch up.
Rennebeck.
Say Rach, catch up without saying Rach, catch up. Yeah.
I knew that. I Get it together, Rach.
Go ahead. Yes.
But the fourth one was the most chaotic because we were doing Home Chef Throwdown, which is our charity competition on social media. And I was like, well, we need avenue for fundraising. You know, you always got to have something to bring in the money. And I was like, oh, let's do it. Let's do a cookbook. So I got on a meeting with my publisher and, you know, I was thinking I had like a month to do it. And they were like, no, we need that done in 12 days. I was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
So it was amazing, though, because it gave me this idea that because, you know, the charity that we're supporting, Lasagna Love, is such a community-based charity. I was like, why don't I ask my community to help me? And I did. I asked people for recipes. So my book has Angela's lasagna. It was her mom's recipe. And that being in there, she was like, that made my whole year seeing my mom's recipe on paper. So it became like a community cookbook with stories and love and so much more. It's called Layers of Love,
Right.
you know,
Yep.
playing on like the lasagna theme. But yeah, I never want to write a cookbook in 12 days ever again in my life.
Yes.
I was having like nervous
pressure.
breakdowns. Like one thing fell out of the dish strainer and I was like crying in my kitchen. I was like, I can't do this.
But you did it, and people loved it so much because they adore you. You have that relatability factor, and people want more. So of course, there's multiple books at this point.
Yeah.
So can we expect another?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And when is that happening?
I'm hoping
11 days.
My time. No. This one is a cookbook that I actually put off to put another one in front of it.
Okay.
And it's going to be called What's Shakin' Bacon. So my husband and I, we love to do competitive cooking. We travel to compete. And so this one is going to be like all of my award-winning recipes, all of our brisket, our barbecue, because we're cooking something up every single weekend on our smoker.
That's great.
So this one I think is going to be, you know, it's kind of cool because like it's going to have a low and slow. It's going to have a hot and fast chapter. The appetizer chapter is called phalange food because I love phalanges. They're just it's like the coolest thing ever. Why don't we call them phalanges, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to give somebody the middle finger or are you going to give them the middle phalange? The middle phalange sounds way tougher.
It does work. Yeah.
That is so true, and that's so you, Irma Gerd. I mean, that's the Tell everybody what your shirt says and why.
Oh, it says "What's up, Buttercup," and that's something I used to say to my mom, and I said it in one video, and it like took off, and it became my saying. And
It's your thing.
Yeah, it's my thing. So this is when I told the graphic designer what I wanted, like she nailed it. It is a unicorn farting glitter over a field of buttercup flowers.
We never had a falcon and we never had a unicorn farting flowers
right,
on our show.
right.
So there you go. There's a first for everything.
It's just like I always tell people I fart glitter and they didn't believe me, so we had to get it on a shirt. Sorry. You guys know.
So if you're just listening,
Willie
this
and the
is
Redneck
Desiree.
kids listen to this.
Yeah, for sure. Cooking, comedy, and chaos. And we
Cousin
love
Lisa.
chatting with her because, like we said, we have like a year and a half of information to kind of catch up on. So the big news is that on May 28th, something really big is going down. It's a finale. And tell us a little bit about this. It's the Home Chef Throwdown, right?
Yes, Home Chef Throwdown finale. It'll be live on TikTok May 28th, probably around 8 p.m. And it's the last big battle of the competition. So Home Chef Throwdown's been an 8-week competition. We have 10 social media home chefs that have competed in it. And you watch
And they're from all over, correct?
Yes, they're all over the U.S. And I created challenges. So 1 week they had to do the T-Rex arm challenge. So someone had to cook. You had to cook using someone else's arms.
Right.
And then we've had a $10 budget meal. We've had a pantry meal, canned good challenges. And all of these challenges were created to show the audience that's been watching the series that you can navigate different areas of your kitchen, of your pantry to help make groceries more affordable for you.
Right.
And I think we really did that.
Such a good idea. I mean, especially today, because people, you know, in our day, right, we would, well, you're younger, but whatever you found in your pantry, it was like, I'll throw this together, throw that together. But now we live in this time where the kids want this and who wants this. And you're so right. And with inflation, you need to do things like this.
Yeah, you really need to, I always think that if you have a platform, you have to use it in some way to give back.
Yeah.
So not only are we using Home Chef Throwdown to raise money and awareness for Lasagna Love, we're also giving back to our direct online community by teaching them the things that we've picked up in our years of cooking. And I mean, some of the chefs aren't even like chefs. They just made a couple cooking videos and I became friends with them and I was like, hey.
John, what can we make?
What you do.
I know,
What
right?
did we win for Hairpiece Charities last? We have to
Nothing
see
that
what
we
my
made.
dad
It was
will
all
help-
your
Yeah, it was
dad
my
made.
dad.
Right? So the T-Rex
Can't
arms
even
on
take
our
the
video
credit.
will be me standing there
Yeah.
and Johnny Angel's arms coming through and making something.
Yes.
And it'll
But
be
he's
perfect.
very particular.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's
it
all
won't-
right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
he does have a messy kitchen, but
Yeah.
it'll be.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can do it. He does, and he leaves it for everybody else to clean up. And he's here, so he knows that. No, but I mean, you truly exemplify goodness, and I just want to thank you because it's been amazing to watch your journey. Because, like John said, you started as this TikTok phenom, and you turned it for the good. Not that wasn't a good thing, but you wanted to make a difference and leave a mark for good. And I think that that's just a wonderful nod to you. So I hope everybody watches on May 28th. How can they watch?
Go to TikTok. Go to it'll be Jess Applesauce and ADHD is her screen name.
Yeah.
So you would either follow her or follow Stoner Gump is the other person.
Well, right.
competing.
Who wouldn't watch?
Right.
Yeah, that's the other name.
Listen, man, that guy is the most hysterical person I've ever met in my life. Like, you guys think I'm funny. This dude is like, I'm on the phone with him and I can't, like, I'll just, no.
Okay.
I can't even go into what we talk about.
But what
it's
can they
just
expect
Stoner
if someone hasn't seen it? What can they expect?
What they can expect is each week the contestants get a challenge, and they'll have special small business spotlights. That's another form of giving back to the small businesses.
Yep.
So in the live finale, they're going to be challenged to use as many products that they have been sent throughout the challenge in their meal. They'll have 60 minutes. They have to make one main, 2 sides. They can do a drink as well. Last year when I competed, I did a milkshake, and
I remember.
And I won.
Of course.
I'm just saying. I just
So
if you go overboard, it might
She's
work.
humble
in your
also.
Yeah,
Can I
it's
show
good.
my technical inabilities? How do you watch a live show on TikTok? Is there a channel that we would go to?
You would just-
or
yeah,
just
you'd go to their-
follow you because you all be on the screen.
Yeah,
and
well,
multiple-
I'll actually be in the live because I'll be commentating it, and talking smack to everybody the whole time. I can't wait for that part.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that part. But yeah, go to TikTok and go to Cooking Comedy Chaos.
Yeah.
I'll have a little like red
Okay.
thing around my name when I'm live.
I got
but they
it.
can just go there. The live event will be scheduled, and
Got
they
it.
can register
Got
to
it.
be reminded.
Got it.
You're
All
so-
right.
you're
So we have
awesome.
a question of the day, but before we do that, remind everybody where can they find you on all of your social medias.
All social medias, cooking_comedy_chaos.
Nice.
I love catching up with old friends, and we love what you're doing. So did you bring us a gift?
I did. For
Okay,
the junk drawer.
what's our JD?
Junk
yeah,
drawer.
our junk drawer gift. Is it a
Okay.
falcon strap?
It is not.
Okay. What is this?
You've
Is
been
it a
I feel like you're a
cheesed.
nurse giving us medicine.
You've been cheesed.
Oh. It's so, you describe it for people listening. It's a little
John,
shot
you're holding
glass.
it. It's a shot glass.
No, but then
Take
for
the-
people who are
take the-
listening, people who are
Let me put my
listening.
glasses on. It's a container
Listening.
with a lid, and you're opening it,
Yeah,
and
it's
what
like
is
a little
inside? It's
Jell-O
like a
shot.
clear, a Jell-O
Yeah.
shot.
And
Clear.
in there is a little piece of
Swiss cheese.
Like,
I love
yeah.
this. Why did we get this?
So it's been a prank in my house for probably like 6 months now. There are hundreds of pieces of that cheese all throughout my house, and I find them in the most random place.
Oh my gosh! And we've been cheesed.
You've been cheesed. You
I
have
like-
14 pieces of cheese hidden in your office. I
Stop
got here
it.
early just so I could do it.
Oh my! I see one! I see one! Ah! There's one on the studio thermostat.
Dude, that's one right there. How did I see it?
So the rule is
Well
when you
done.
find them, you
Desiree,
get to re-hide
this
them.
Oh, I love it!
And
I
it's
love
the
it.
gift that
Jag.
keeps
Do you work
giving.
with the Jags
All
regularly?
right, on your porch. If you're on a porch, since we're getting ready to do our porch tour for Zachary's mission, what would you like to do? on your
I'm
porch?
cooking.
You're
I got
cooking.
a nice
Yeah?
little
Right, you can
outdoor
smoke
kitchen.
things, yeah?
I got a pizza oven. I got a smoker. I got griddles.
You're
I'm cooking.
all equipped.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
are the best. We wish you nothing but the best. Tune in on May 28th and keep doing all the amazing things. And where do we find Lasagna Love?
Oh, www.lasagналove.org.
It's easy enough.
All right, next is
Desiree,
Where
Cooking
You
Comedy.
At?
Thanks. Yeah, where you at? Stay
All
with us.
You will never regret your time on the ambulance because it will come with you and become a part of you. It helps you grow as a person and gives you life experience that you would never have had access to otherwise. You know, what other job do you go to school for 9 months and you get to go out and intubate people in the field, right? I'm putting tubes down people's throats to help them breathe. I'm starting IVs. I'm giving, ketamine, fentanyl, these.
This is a very rewarding job. I love coming to work every day. It's always something different. I don't really call this work.
Probably amazing. Just because you can change the life of someone in like moments, you can bring someone back to life.
We're living in this crisis of everyone not being able to afford secondary education or finding employment after that. This is something you can do very quickly. Having an EMT is very short. Like, you can do it in 3 months. It's a very small financial commitment.
That's right, we are back for part 2 of McKees Rocks with tour guide Sandy Sabin, because there is so much, especially historical stuff, which you know all about as president of McKees Rocks
Historical Society. Okay, well, this is where Alexander McKee and George Washington had dinner. George Washington was all over this place in the rocks, and he stopped here for dinner, and you have to wonder, like, what did he eat?
John and Rachel, YaJagoff late night, and the Where You At's. This was a double that you just saw.
Double
from
whammy,
Tressa,
yeah.
from McKees Rocks, my hometown.
Your hometown.
And it's so good it had to have
It's
2
your
segments. How about that? So if you have a place that you want us to look at in our Where You At's, or if you have a Jeet Jet, you have a Nunny's recipe for red sauce or pierogies,
or
let us
anything.
know.
We always use those as the example.
Right, but it's a good example.
It's whatever.
But if you have anything like that in your family, make sure you get a hold of us.
Shout out to the folks at Millville Music Festival that's happening all weekend. So make sure who cares about the rain, go check it out. We're super happy because Sarah over there, who's part of the brainchild of MMF, we said we need a good musician for our Friday night so that we can come out and MC the rest of it. And she said Adrian will be absolutely perfect. So Adrian, welcome to YaJagoff Late Night.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background as a musician.
Where should I start?
Start at age 4.5.
Yeah.
4.5. Gosh. Well, I'm actually new in town. As a matter of fact, I'm new in the country. I've been playing music since I was in the previous country. I wouldn't say home. I was going to say home country, but now this is my home country. I've been a musician there in Indonesia, my previous country, for quite some time, and I play Delta Blues, which is like, I started off playing Delta Blues, which is kind of like, it's the first form of the blues music before the Eric Claptons and all them. So, and at that time, nobody was crazy enough to play slide guitar over there. So and go on stage doing it. So I guess I happened to be the first, and people were like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, first of all, you are historical because we have the first animal, but historical tonight because I think you have the best set of glasses we've seen on the podcast.
Oh, I have some nice glasses.
Thank you. Yeah. They are pretty.
My Amazon specials.
They're
are
rocking
really
well
nice.
there. But so, how did you know about the Delta Blues in Indonesia? Was that
Yeah,
how
I
does
didn't
that
know.
cross over?
First of all, like apparently blues music is actually flourishing in Indonesia. It's really great over there. But before that, I used to go to college in Australia. And
wow.
Yeah, and I mean, before I played Delta Blues, I used to play like metal with my like high school friends back home.
Gosh,
And then-
yeah.
Yeah, and then like it's just like a musical journey thing. I'm looking for like the kind of music that kind of resonates with me, and it all kind of like leads down to Delta Blues. Like I went through the journey of like hard rock, and then classic rock, southern rock, and then Muddy Waters.
Sure.
Okay.
So you've been to those crappy places like Indonesia and Australia, and here you are in great Pittsburgh, right? So all kidding aside, what brought you here then? Because obviously you have you had so many cultural opportunities.
Well, I met my current wife back in Indonesia, and she's from Michigan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Tell
all
that.
places.
We'll get that story in another podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And her sister happened to be living here for her job. So when my wife got a job for like the kind of like, she's been not transferred, but she got a job for DC, remote job. So she chose to live here to be with her sister.
Okay.
And so I was I came along for the ride. Basically.
Why not, right?
And did you find it welcoming to Delta blues music? You know, or was that sort of that style of music? Was Pittsburgh already kind of on the map for that, or you came in, you kind of started a new genre in Pittsburgh for Pittsburgh?
God no. From what I heard, is actually one of the sort of the recent exponents of Delta blues musician is actually living here in Pittsburgh. Ernie Hawkins? No, hang on. I'm sorry. The name escapes me.
That's okay. But how cool.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So you did some research to sort of find out, like, you know, how can I sort of keep my groove going?
In Pittsburgh?
Yes.
No.
Okay, no.
Well, I was told about that by somebody that I met down in Clarksdale. I had a chance of visiting down there and played in their Juke Joints festival, Clarksdale, which is like the center of the Delta blues music.
Okay.
My wife took me there last year. Anyway, it's another story. But starting music in Pittsburgh was kind of like it kind of started pretty slow for me. At first, like I kind of thought that like everyone in America is a better musician than anywhere else.
Oh, really?
So yeah, when I came here, I was like, I didn't have like that confidence until I just until I just like I thought I'll just play open mics and see how I go.
And that's what you do, right?
And that's what I do, and that's where Sarah discovered me.
Yeah.
That's right there in Millville. Right?
Now
Right
we are
there in
going to
Millville.
have you play one of your songs, but before
Thank
we
you.
kind of get you to that point, we have a couple of questions for you. First
Yes.
of all, where do people find your music online?
I'm on social media, but I don't actually put my song, like my albums, online.
Okay. You would prefer
Where do
people
they
to hear
find
you
you on-
live, right?
Yeah.
Where do they find you on social media?
They can look me up on Instagram and Facebook. I used to have I still have Twitter, but I'm not
All
really
with your
active on
name?
it. It's
Or-
all with my name,
Okay.
Adrian, Adrian,
Okay.
Adioetomo.
Got
There
it.
you go.
Got
That's
it.
it. There you go.
All right. If you were hanging out on your porch or a porch, what would you like to be doing on the porch?
Play guitar.
Yeah,
That's it. That's your
that
thing.
would be fun.
Totally.
Yeah,
Just
and
have
your
a
guitar
few-
is so unique.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
It
have
is.
to get a close up of
Yeah.
that because that is really cool.
All
Did
right.
you get it here?
I got this back in 2008 when I was visiting California.
Okay.
Back then, somebody in Santa Barbara these guitars are actually this very guitar was made in 1932.
Is it metal?
It
Oh,
is metal.
wow.
It's a metal body. I had to replace the neck. The neck is wood. Somebody in Santa Barbara at that time, he collect junks of this kind of guitar and then like rebuilds them into
Oh my gosh.
into something new. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's
Very
pretty
unique.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Did you bring us a junk drawer item?
junk drawer. I have.
This looks good. This
Yeah.
looks good.
I mean, I like the pouch, but I guess we're not getting that. Well,
Yeah.
that's a bummer.
My wife's into like overshot weaving kind of stuff, and we got this in Bedford.
It's so cute. You've been to so many places: Australia, Bedford.
oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I got
my
a bunch
gosh.
of stuff.
This is where people unload. They're like,
Yeah.
we need to get rid of things.
Here, I'll hold them up each
Yep.
to the camera, and you describe each one.
I
Please
don't.
say,
kn-
I don't know.
I don't know.
Literally, it's a junk drawer.
Those are it's a. I used to work at a thrift store.
Oh my gosh! So
And-
you just kind of accumulated.
I accumulate
Oh,
them.
man, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Okay, so I get it's a wreath. It looks like that we're gonna call the circular thing a wreath.
Okay,
Right?
yeah,
Okay.
uh-huh.
A clock.
Yeah,
So
it's-
that's
it's
incorrect.
part of a clock,
Incorrect time.
and it's broken.
Yeah, it's broken. And
It's a
Tuba?
French horn.
oh, French horn. I went
I
tuba.
think French.
Okay.
I don't-
That John broke. Remember when you gave us that nice junk drawer gift? And it's a Christmas ornament with
I
red
think
tape
so.
on it.
And a bluebird
Oh
with
my
with a
gosh.
broken wing.
And our pieces of cheese that are just as big.
Nice.
Adrian, we are so excited that you joined us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
We
so
can't wait
much.
to go to the Millville Music Fest this weekend. And we're really excited because we get to hear you perform. What song will you
Thank
be
you.
playing for us?
The song is titled "Underneath the Ground."
Okay, we
Nice.
can't wait. Stay
We're going to
with
let
us.
you get set up. And now is the 412 news from our partners at the Pittsburgh. Nope.
Visit Pittsburgh.
Visit Pittsburgh.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
Hi everyone, this is Jared Bundy from Visit Pittsburgh. Normally I'm writing the blog, working on the website for Visit Pittsburgh, but once a month I take a break from that and tell you about all the great stuff going on in this city I love. Let's jump right into it with the Millvale Music Festival. This needs to be top of your list this weekend. There's more than 300 bands, 28 different stages to check out that'll take you all over Millvale. You'll be up at Mr. Small's, you'll be checking out Grist House, you'll be over at Poetry Lounge, all of these great places to check out and hear local music. If you don't have it, make sure you download the app in advance. It really helps for planning and making sure you see the bands you want to see. And it's also subdivided by genre to make sure you can go and see all the hardcore bands, all the emo bands, all the poetry readings and things like that to have the best experience. And let's keep going with the EQT Children's Theater Festival. That's going to be taking over downtown in the Cultural District this weekend. And if you've never been, this is a great thing to bring your kids to and get them excited about the arts, right? They're going to have all these performances that'll be ticketed at the Byam Theater, Pittsburgh Playhouse, venues like that, but also all kinds of free things to do around the Cultural District, making their own art, dancing, STEM activities, just all kind of things to get them excited about being a part of the arts. We know how important that is as parents. So bring them out to that. I've been bringing my son now for 3 years, and we'll see you there as well if you make it out there this weekend. With our time remaining here, let's go to the final thing I want to talk about, and that's a new exhibit at the Andy Warhol Museum. You know, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary, so happy 30th to the Andy Warhol Museum, and their new exhibit, Cause Plus Warhol, that's going to exhibit both artists together for the first time, and it's going to be really something unique that we haven't seen in Pittsburgh, right? Cause is known for these very bright colors, pop culture references, and you may be thinking, hey, a lot of similarities with Warhol, but also kind of that darker element, right? That kind of like spectacle, looking at death and more serious topics like that as part of his work. So come and check all of that out and see that for the first time, but that exhibit will be around till the end of January 2025 if you want to check that out. So that's what I have for you right now. I'd love to talk to you more about it, but I simply don't have time to fit all of it in. But if you want to see everything going on this weekend and every weekend as summer festival season kicks off, make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure you go to our website, check out all of our events, all of our new blogs, so you don't miss anything going on in and around Pittsburgh. Thanks so much, and hope to see you out visiting and celebrating this weekend.
Hi, I'm Adrian Ariutomo. I'll be playing the Millvale Music Festival, and this is Underneath the Ground.
Over the ground above us, lights are swinging left and right. Over the ground above us, they scan every move and sigh. So here we are again, right in every breath again. Empty streets have seen us, but the name they hear won't be ours. Time keeps an eye on us till they disregard these borrowed hours. And so here we are again, right in every breath again, closer than the pain again, underneath the ground where they open up again. Tracing every pulse and pace, every movement in this place, every craving, every grace, every reading from your face. So here we are again, again, closer than the pain again, underneath the ground where we open up again. Come this way again, make the sky again.
The slide guitar.
I
awesome.
love
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Wow.
First time again. First time on the podcast.
I
A slide
know.
guitarist.
It's a podcast of first.
Yeah, yeah.
Adrian, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Yeah.
We hope that people come see you live. Hey, this was a great podcast yet again. Thank you so much to the National Aviary for coming and bringing a falcon. Doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
We need a sloth next, we got to say.
Right.
We're putting
and
our words in.
Thank you
our
to Desiree
demands.
from Cooking Comedy Chaos.
Always fun.
Just always a blast. And make sure you're following to watch the live cook-off that they're doing. It sounds hysterical, actually.
Yeah, for sure. And check out Millville Music Fest this weekend because it's going to be a blast and you're supporting local communities. And listen, support the YaJagoff podcast. We are actually taking this back on the road with Zachary's mission in mind. We are doing our porch tours all of June. We still have room for one more. So make sure you are sending us your samples of why should the Jags come to your porch? Bring the fun, bring the party. And you actually are helping Zachary's mission. So more details are on our website, all through social media. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. You can email us. You can message us. Just send pictures of what the porch looks like. Because we are we just want to come and have a good time. We're bringing you all this food. Mary Mac Bakehouse. See if I can get them all right. Mancini's Bakery. Jenny Lee Cinnamon Swirls. Pittsburgh Wash Company Soap.
Yeah, that was good.
And
Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Mixed Candle
Mixed
and
Candle.
Company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, now you're making me. Oh, Ernie Ritchie sausage.
Yeah.
Did we say that?
Yeah. No, I think we did.
We have some really good prizes,
Yeah.
you guys. Check
Go
it out.
check it out on YaJagoff.com as to what the prizes are. In the meantime, thanks again to Q92.9 and Steel City Media for hosting us. We appreciate it. Don't forget, next week is the last week we're going to be here, right?
Yeah.
Because we're going to TRAF March 31st live on stage.
It's May,
at
but
Three
yep,
Rivers
we'll
Arts
see you there.
Festival. That's it. YaJagoff Late Night. Thanks, everybody.